writing in the descending power, it's going to be 4x to the power of 3 minus 2x squared. Now we can move on. There's your answer there. Please do corrections if you didn't get it like that. At number E, we have negative 2x plus x minus 2x squared. Alright, we're going to simplify. We remove the brackets by multiplying. There's actually a, we're still talking here, Akila, Ronaldo. There's actually a 1 in front there, positive 1, so doesn't have an impact on that. So that's going to be plus x minus 2x squared. We look for like terms. These ones are like terms. Negative 2x plus 1. So that's going to be negative x minus 2x squared. And your answer in descending powers is negative 2x minus x. Cool. Then moving on there at number F, bracket negative 2x bracket x minus 2x squared. Now this is actually similar to this one. You will see we're supposed to get the same answer. So that's going to be negative 2x to the power of 2, and then negative times a negative is equal to a positive, so that equals to 4x to the power of 3, or 4x cubed. I'm just going to write it in descending power, so that it brings me to 4x cubed minus 2x squared. Final answer there. Then moving on to G. Alright, so G, at G we have bracket 2x minus y to the power of 3. Okay. So what you can do, no, and what you are supposed to do in grade 10, you were supposed to probably write this out 3 times, because this means the bracket is multiplying himself 3 times. But yesterday you got some notes, and this is the importance of mathematicians. No, you need to read everything. So yesterday we spoke and we placed a lot of emphasis on what is that? If I look at this alone in isolation, what is that? Not a difference in two squares, a binomial squared. And we looked at the shortcut of simplifying a binomial squared. No? Then we said, okay, but if I have a binomial squared, I can do what? I can say it's going to be the first term squared, so that's going to be 4x squared, and then the last term is going to be y squared, and then the middle term is going to be the first term times the last term times 2. So that's going to be negative 2xy times 2 is equals to negative 4xy. Alright. Now, there's nothing wrong, Tristan, with going and writing out this 3 times. But if you write it out 3 times, you're going to do unnecessary steps. And that's why identifying and knowing your work, Lisakanya, and reading through the notes, no, is important. Because we want to save time at the end of the day and not sleep in the class, Melvin. No? So please, now what we can do, we can distribute. So if we distribute now, I'm going to distribute this first term over all of these 3 terms, and then the y over all of these 3 terms. I need your help there. So let's do that together. So that's going to be 2x times 4x squared. So that's going to be 8x to the cube. And then 2x times with 4xy, that's going to be negative 8x xy x squared y, and then
it's 2xy squared
plus 2xy squared, and then so negative 4x squared y
4xy squared
xy squared, and then the last term is going to be negative q. Alright, what is our next step then? I look for like terms. So this one goes with negative 4x squared, and then this one goes with that one. Alright, what do I do now? Like terms, what is important with like terms? I add and subtract what? The coefficients. The coefficients. But with like terms, when it's something like terms, the variables needs to be the same. But why are these two like terms? The variables exponents are not the same. So there's two conditions. The variables need to be the same, and the exponents of the variables needs to be exactly the same. So therefore that's going to be 8x to the power of 3 minus this, and that is going to be minus 12x square y, and then that's going to be plus 6xy squared and minus y to the power of 3. Alright, number 8. Number 8 is x plus 2 bracket x squared minus 2x plus 4. CP. We spoke about this yesterday. Zema? Hey? Thank you, say that again. What did you say? I distribute. Yes, I can go do that. You want to do that? He says no. Okay. Isn't it already factorized? It is. Okay. So, when we look at factorization, what type of factorization do we have? Just for recap on grade 10. Hello, grade 10. Common factor. Difference of two squares. Trinomial.
Sum of difference of.
Doesn't that look familiar?
Yes.
Alright, so we can go expand this, but you will, or you can go straight to the answer. You're supposed to know that this is a difference of cubes. So x to the power of 3 minus, no, plus 8. Now, there's nothing wrong with expanding, but the problem is it's going to take you some time. No? That's why it's important to know your work well enough so that you can identify within 1 minute that you can already go to the answer.
And I is the same.
Yes. I looks like this. It's 4x squared plus 6x plus 9 and 2x minus 3. Now they just did a swap, but that swap doesn't really have an impact. So you can go once again straight to the answer, and the answer is going to be
Minus cube minus 27.
Alright, question number 2. Factorize. Alright, let's start here in the front. You can give me the answer. And then we go.
Give us the answer. One answer.
Number 2A, yes. You didn't do your homework. You'll get your chance, guys. All right, thank you. All right, B. Zita.
X minus 4. X plus 3.
Sounds about the right. C. Olona. Inam, your end is up. X plus 3.
X plus 1 I give you x squared plus 7x.
What did you say? X plus 3.
X plus 4.
X plus 4. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's see if it works now. If we expand this, a quick way to see if your answer is right is by expanding and simplifying. So x squared x times x is equals to x squared. X times 4 is plus 4x plus 3x plus 12. And then we simplify x squared.
Plus 7x plus 12.
And that was not what we started with. All right, Shluma. All right, so this one didn't work now. X minus 3. X plus 4. All right, let's see what happens. X squared plus 4x minus 3x. CP? Is this one alright? No. CP? You have an answer box there? Alright, so this one is also not right. Alright, so this one, answer there. Number D. Number D. Anyone? Lenumta. You look like you're smiling. Alright, the letter C is no solution. So I'll take a no solution for that. She says no solution. So if she says no solution until anyone tries it something else, I'm going to take your answers. Okay? Number E. Alright, Melvin says it's x minus 3 and x Minus 4. That sounds about correct. No? Thank you, Melvin. Alright, then number F, 2F, say that again. 4x plus 3. With number F. Alright, F is right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number G. Alright, what you were supposed to do at number G, you were supposed to first expand it to first two brackets and then get to the trinomial. So let's do that quickly. I'm going to write it out quickly. So that's x minus 3 and x minus 2 minus 12. If I expand, I get x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 6. So that simplifies to x squared
Minus 6. Minus 6.
Okay. Now, what was the instruction here? What is the instruction? Factorize. Thank you, and that is what we should do. Alright, so let's factorize this. If we factorize, we get x and x. So that's going to be minus 6 plus 1. Yes. Alright. Remember, why is it not 3 and 2, Zima? Because after interval after this. Why couldn't there have been, if you are here, why couldn't there have been 2 and 3? Because if you know your rules of grade 10, if that is a negative, within the brackets there should be a difference in signs. Alright? So if I use a 3 and a 2, it's not able to get me, yes, I will get to negative 5, but then the signs needs to be the same. So there is just a quick way of checking. Remember, the negative indicates to me that there needs to be a change in signs within. Like if you look at here, this one, there was a plus before the 12, no? And that's why the signs are the same. Here, there was a negative sign at number B, just checking there. Yes, this also a negative sign. So please, grade 10 rules. This is actually not grade 11 work yet. This is just recapping on the grade 10 work. Like I told you yesterday, algebra is like that ever-present spirit that is in the mathematics classroom. He's never going to leave us. So we should pay respect to that spirit. No? Otherwise, you're going to have a difficult time in the mathematics class. Isn't this a double period? Now, why are you packing up? It's 4 periods. It's 4 periods, long interval. Alright. We're continuing. So, at number H now. Alright, at number 8, Shunin, I told you to write down the bubble for me yesterday. Yes, on the first page. What was that bubble? 5 ways of factorizing. Now that would have been brilliant answer, Onika, but the only thing is you are still chewing bubblegum. No? So that must make it a little bit less brilliant now. So 5 ways of factorizing. What is the instruction here? Instruction is to factorize. What is the first one? Common factor. And that's always your first point of reference. The order is important. Go through that every time when you see the instruction, factorize. First thing, look for a common factor. Is there a common factor here? Yes. So I first take out the common factor. If I 7x to the power of 3 minus 8. Alright, so write down for yourself there if you didn't do this one. Take out a common factor, first type of factorization. Then I should be able to identify what is this? Difference of cubes. So now I can go to the answer. So that means it's x minus 2, and then the first one is going to be x squared, and then the last one is going to be this one squared, so that's going to be 4. Then it's going to be this one times that one, so that's going to be 2x, and there's a plus. Okay, number I. Until where were you supposed to complete? J. Okay. Number I. 18 minus 8.
Minus y, then close the bracket square.
Okay. Ayola, I haven't spoken to you yet. What is the instruction here? Factorize. When we factorize, what is the first type of factorization that we're looking for? Highest common factor. Can you see identify highest common factor here? Hold on to that answer. Anyone else? Yes. CP. Alright, CP. Hold on to that answer. That's good. Anyone? So we can identify that. How many terms are here? Let's first establish that. There's two terms. No? There's two terms. This is the first term. This is the second term. Both of these are what we call even numbers. So that means they are divisible by 2. So if I take out the 2, what remains?
9 minus 4, bracket x minus y, plus bracket square.
If I gave you this thing, x squared minus y squared, what is the solution to factorize that? Is the difference between two squares. So that's going to be x plus y, x minus y. If I did this, is it still possible to factorize? Yes. What is that going to become?
3 and 2.
If I did this,
Yes. The y will be squared.
okay. Can you see some kind of a resemblance between this and this?
Yes.
So what is this difference of two squares? First step, what did I do? Factorize the common factor. No? Common factor. Second step, and what is the second one that I always look for? A difference between two squares. Alright, so do you see if you go through that's why I told you to the steps of looking for, then it's just like when you go to a doctor says sit on the bed, no? Lift up or breathe. He has a process, and the same goes on here. No? Breathe in, breathe out. Or when you say something is wrong with your throat, he says make ah. So he has a procedure, and you also need to learn processes. No? That's why when I ask you to write stuff down, it's not just for you to keep yourself busy. No? There's a reason behind all of that. You might not always understand, but there is a reason for that. So this is now, first we have identified a common factor. Then we see that there is a difference between two squares. So let's go simplify now again. Say, okay, I'm just using a different bracket to distinguish between the two. So the square of this is 3. And the square of this whole thing is 2 bracket x minus y. Alright, and there's a plus going to be, and this is going to be a minus 2 bracket x, sorry, x minus y, yes, that's correct, and then close the brackets. So that means all we have to do now is we need to expand this bracket and then we're done. So that's going to be 3 plus 2x minus 2y. Close that first bracket, and then there's going to be 3 minus 2x plus 2y. Okay, in factorized form. That's I for you. It's not supposed to be new. No, it's just the cooperation of grade 10 with the grade 11 principles that we're now enforcing. Alright, let's look at J. And then I'm quickly gonna do J because it was a part of the homework. So then I'm gonna give you a few more minutes to do K, L, M, N, O. Okay. So let's do J together. 2x.
Jammer van de collega's 10 Yang aan de kamer 3 onmiddellijk gaat 10 Yang aan de kamer 3 je moet Joseph wacht voor jullie. Kijk 10B met Joseph is waiting for you guys. Report to room 3 please. Thank you.
Y minus 2.
Y minus
2x.
2x. Alright. 1 plus 2 is equals to 2 plus 1. No? Both of them is equals to 3. But 2 minus 1 is not equals to 1 minus 2. So, when we're doing addition and multiplication, the order isn't so important. But when we're doing subtraction and division, the order does matter. So when we see something like this, and this is also something that we were supposed to recall now, Edwell, from grade 10. So if I see these brackets are almost the same, no, I can take out the sign. I'm going to do a sign change. So then this becomes a negative, and then this within the bracket becomes 2x minus y. Now this is almost the same as a square minus 4a.
Yes.
I can take out a common factor. And what is my common factor here? A. Alright, but in this case, what is my common factor now? The bracket. So if I take out the bracket, what there remains? I'm going to take out the bracket 2x minus y. It's divisible by 1. Alright, so that's going to mean one more bracket is going to be remaining there. Minus 4. That bracket cancels out and it looks something then like this. All that I have to do now is I need to remove this bracket here. So that's going to be 2x minus y and then 2x minus y minus 4. And there's your answer. Check if you can simplify it. Always check if there's not stuff that you can add or subtract there. There's your answer right there. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to do corrections for those of you who didn't do it. Get the right answers in the book. Those of you who want to continue, please try and do for me now. K, L, M, and N. Now, in your manner of working through it, always reference the first page. No? Because as you can see, I used most of these stuff, I used the principles of the first page. So when factorizing, first look for a common factor, difference of two squares. If it's not the difference of two squares, look for a sum or cubes, and then look for, if it's 4 or more pairs, look how we can grouping. No? So please try there for me K, L, M and N.